A familiar story, a wet and windy day across northwestern parts of the British Isles. Something a bit quieter, I think, over the weekend, but it will take a while for things to quieten down across the far north. And it's still the far north that's getting the worst of it at the moment, particularly through Scotland, parts of Northern Ireland, as far as heavy rain and gales are concerned. But those strong winds also pushing down into northern parts of England and through Wales, perhaps even into the Midlands later on in the day. These are the sort of gusts we've been expecting, and we've actually been seeing over the last few hours. The strongest, 60 to 70 miles an hour across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland, but 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts certainly possible across those more central areas. The strongest winds just ahead of this band of rain on that weather front. So that moves in very slowly, I think, through the course of the afternoon and into the evening. Winds just easing off a little bit behind that for a time, but not for too long. We'll see some more gales returning to the north towards the end of the night. So those gales pushing in from the southwest, continuing through into the early part of the weekend, but there's the change coming in. The arrows all disappearing for a time across the south as much quieter weather comes in for a while. More southwesterlies arriving during the early part of next week, but nothing like the same sort of strength, and just a hint of something colder perhaps during the second half of the coming week. Still lots of lines around on the chart, mind you, so still some strong winds through Saturday, bringing in a fair number of showers to the northwest. But as that high starts to edge in, the lines open out, and that means the wind's easing down during the second half of the weekend. But as we get the clear skies and the light winds, looks like a return of nighttime frosts. Daytime frosts, though, quite extensive across central and eastern parts of Europe. Not unusual, of course, at this time of the year. Fairly settled across these eastern parts. The best of sunshine, though, through the western Mediterranean. Temperatures up to around 15 degrees over southern Spain. Mind you, we're not too far behind in the Moray Firth, 13 degrees during this afternoon, despite the strength of the wind. Those winds easing for a time, as I've mentioned, as that rain band pushes away south during tonight, eventually ending up across the southeast with clearer skies coming in for much of England and Wales, but still those showers across the far north of Scotland. Temperatures dipping to around 3 or 4 degrees at the lowest, I think, perhaps except across eastern Scotland, down to around 1 degree here. Saturday morning then sees further gales and showers pushing in across those eastern parts of Scotland. Fine through these central areas, that rain in the southeast moving away fairly smartly with some good sunny spells then coming through. Sunday, I think, a better day generally. The wind's easing at long last across the north, still 1 or 2 showers pushing in. Touch of frost overnight and some patchy fog, rather more of that around, I think, on Monday.